Welcome back to some more NFL offseason. Just did the Daniel Jeremiah reaction. That'll be out before this, obviously. Um, but now it's reaction to the East West Shrine Bowl rosters, and I'm really excited to see what players are in this. I haven't taken a look at this, or I have, sorry. I know the quarterbacks, and that's really about it. So I'll give you guys maybe some underrated players to watch. Obviously, Devin Leary is going to be in here, quarterback out of Kentucky. He's going to need a big Shrine Bowl to really get himself back on the map here in this quarterback class. Um, but obviously, the East West Shrine Bowl is just as important as the Senior Bowl. We've seen guys, like they said, Isaiah Pacheco, Zay Flowers, Brock Purdy come from this game and really boost their stock. As we get down here to the rosters. So quarterbacks, Devin Leary, John Reese Plumlee, Jack Plummer from Louisville, who I'm excited to see. Austin Reed, Western Kentucky, always has a guy. Keaton Slovis and Jordan Travis. Obviously, Jordan Travis won't really be able to do much, but glad to see that he was invited and will at least be there, probably for interviews mostly. But Keaton Slovis is a guy I'm kind of excited about because at USC, he was once a first round prospect going into his junior season at USC. Just never had a healthy season there. Was always really inconsistent, but the traits were there. I think he's about 6'2 ish, 6'3. Has a really big arm that I'm sure he'll put on display at this bowl. So that's the guy I'm really watching. Probably him and Leary from the quarterbacks. Running backs, obviously Jonathan Brooks, torn ACL. He's definitely there for the interviews. I think Deshaun Fenwick out of Oregon State is going to be the star of this group. Super powerful, good running back out of Oregon State. I watched him a lot, obviously, as a Cougs fan. And he he knows how to get north and south. Let's just put it that way. I'm also excited to see Frank Gore Jr. Obviously, Southern Miss. He's playing at the FCS level instead of the FBS level. But I am excited to see him. I kind of know what Garendo is. But yeah, this group, I'm really just excited to see Fenwick and Gore, but a deep running back group, honestly, for the East West Shrine. I don't know why I kept saying Weist. Oh my God. Wide receivers, though, this is where it gets juicy. We got the Janky, or however you say that, Jank brothers out of South Dakota State. Excited to see them too against bigger competition. And then down here, Malik Washington and Taj Washington, I think are going to be the stars of this group. I think there's a lot of reasons why. Malik Washington, probably the best receiver out of this whole roster. I think he'll shine for a multitude of reasons. I think his draft stock will skyrocket after the bowl season, or I should say, like specialty bowls, and the combine. So it's gonna start here at the East West Shrine Bowl for Malik Washington, and it won't end until draft night. I think he's a really, really good prospect. Tight ends, really one guy for me is the one I'm watching, and it's Dallin Holker out of Colorado State. He put the nation on blast against Colorado. He had a fantastic game. Him and Torrey Horton, who I don't know. I don't know if Horton's actually declared. I might have to look into that again because if he did, I'm excited to see him at one of these bowls. But Holker and obviously JT Sanders or Jatavian Sanders are the top two for me here. I'm just really excited to see Holker against better competition because he showed that he could play against the top competition against Colorado, and I think he has really good size and athleticism. that will translate to the NFL. Offensive tackle, not a lot of guys I'm really familiar with. Walter Rouse or Roos from Stanford, I would like to see, and then Julian Pearl as well. If they can have some strong days, though, their stock will go up, or strong weeks, I guess. Um, and of course, like these FCS guys, Eastern Kentucky, although I guess that's FBS, but South Dakota State, um, Louisiana, those guys are always fun to watch. Howard, just to see what they can put on display against the top competition. Um, so we'll see. The offensive line, you can never really predict what's going to happen because until it gets to one-on-ones, and one-on-ones are some of the best uh, to watch. It's so much fun. As we get to the interior and big roster, Matt Gonzalez out of Pittsburgh, um, Barnhart from Michigan. Uh, Again, guys from South Dakota State and North Dakota State, I'm going to like to see Holy Cross as well. Just glad that those guys get invites mainly. These Michigan guys, I'm excited to see because obviously, Zach Zinter and the starters of that interior were kind of the stars for the Michigan O line. Now we're going to see them one on one and in game situations without those guys next to them. And that'll be really interesting to see. Mahogany from BC as well. I've heard some decent things about him. So we'll see what he does. As we get to the interior defensive line, Leonard Taylor's obviously the name to watch. Can he get back into that first round conversation? What is kind of the thing to look at right now. Miles Murphy from NC as well. He had a solid season this last year. Outside of that, though, not a super exciting class, but obviously, like I said, once we get to the one-on-ones, it's going to be so much fun to watch, and you'll see kind of who has the traits that are translatable to the NFL, and so on and so forth. As we get to the edge, and ZTF out of Washington, I'm really excited for Xavier Thomas as well. He was like a former top five-star recruit out of high school. Spent 5 seasons at Clemson, 4 maybe. So excited to see him against some good competition, uh, especially in the one-on-ones. Muhammad Kamara out of Colorado State is my guy to watch out of this class. He had a fantastic season at Colorado State, and just go. I know the Colorado O-line was really poor, but go watch how much he dominated that game against Colorado. He was one of the main reasons why they should have won that game. Let's put it that way. He did get ejected, though, for a very undisciplined hit on Shadur Sanders. Besides the point, I think he's going to shine at this Shrine Bowl. So look out for the name Mohamed Kamara. Linebackers, Edgerrin Cooper, my linebacker 1. Hopefully he can show people why. Steel Chambers out of Ohio State, I think will be good. I'm excited to see Dallas Gant actually out of Toledo. Yeah. He had a pretty solid season this last year. I know that for the most part. I haven't looked into a ton of these guys like in depth, but some names that you'll definitely know from this past season. Also Lavelle Bailey from Fresno. I know he had a good season as well, so hopefully he can show what he's about as we get to this cornerback class. Daquan Hardy from Penn State, I'd like to see in one-on-ones without Kalen King across from him. Jerrion Jones, I would like to see as well in one-on-ones. He had a good season at FSU, one of their better corners on the back end. Obviously benefited, though, from that D-line in front of him. Ro Torrance out of Arizona State, I think could be a surprise one for some people. He had a really good game against UW, if I remember correctly. I think that was him. He had a really good game against Odunze and Polk, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly. I know ASU played UW really well, but I think it was him that was mainly guarding like back and forth between Polk and Odunze, and actually did a pretty solid job. So look out for that name at the Shrine. A solid cornerback class though for this East West Shrine Bowl. Excited to see them get worked by these receivers, man. It's gonna be a fun week. And then the safety class, Omar Brown, I'm really excited to see from Nebraska. I think he's one of the most underrated safeties in this class for the draft. Ryan Watts, obviously, everyone knows that name. Well, I'd hope so, at least. He had a really good season down there at Texas. I think he got. Did he get injured actually late in the season? I don't remember. I want to say he did though. So he might just be there for the interviews. I might have to check myself on that one. I know one of their safeties got injured. It might have been the freshman though. But obviously Watts is a bigger safety. He's listed at 6'3", as I'm looking at it right now. So he played all but one game this year, so, or two maybe. So no, he should be good to go. Kenny Logan Jr. from Kansas, I think will surprise a lot of people. Obviously, Alabama guys always defensive guys from Alabama are always gonna be good. So excited to see J. as well. But Omar Brown and Ryan Watts are definitely the ones I'm really looking at. Especially Omar Brown. I think he's gonna be a big surprise for people unless you're a Cornhusker fan. So as we get to the specialists, which I don't know really anything about. But hopefully they are good kickers and punters. We will see. Glad to see they bring some long snappers too. That's awesome. But a really good East West Shrine roster. A lot of really good players in some deep positions. I would say my top 5 guys to watch are going to be, I'm going to say Deshaun Fenwick, Malik Washington, Dallin Holker, Mohamed Kamara, or Kamara. That's 4, right? Holker, Kamara, Fenwick, Malik Washington, and then I'm going to say Omar Brown. Those are my top 5 guys to watch if you're keying in to the East-West Shrine Bowl. That's who I'm going to be mainly keying in on. Obviously, I'm going to watch everyone, but those are going to be my top guys. Obviously, Xavier Thomas as well, former 5-star recruit. You got to keep an eye on, see what he can bring to the table. But again, really, this is going to be fun. A lot of solid participants. Wish Jordan Travis wasn't injured, but it is what it is. You can't go back now. But again, Fenwick, Malik Washington, Holker, Kamara, and Omar Brown. Those are my 5 guys to watch at the East-West Shrine Bowl. I think they're going to shine there. And, yeah, I'll obviously give a reaction to each day and obviously the game of the East-West Shrine Bowl, and let you know whose stock kind of went up and down once we get there. Same thing with the Senior Bowl. I'm really excited to see that one as well. Probably not going to do a reaction to that roster because I've already seen it. But if you guys want me to, let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know who you're looking out for in this Shrine Bowl, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.